My next guest is a Hollywood actor who lit up the big screen alongside Julia Roberts. He's directed and starred as Ireland's original leading man, Oscar Wilde, in his critically acclaimed movie, The Happy Prince. And he's topped the charts as a best-selling author. His latest book is called The American No, though when he wants to come and see us here in the Late Late Show, it is always an Irish yes. Please welcome Rupert Everett. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
Nice to see you again. I believe the last time we had a chat on a TV show in Dublin, I ended up locking you in the Guinness factory.
You made me drunk, as a matter of fact.
I think I might have done, and I'm very glad to hear that didn't make it into any of your books.
All right.
You're no stranger to Ireland.
No.
You've spent a bit of time writing down in Carlow.
Mm-hmm.
Was any of this written down there? This is the new book, The
Some
American
of this
No?
was inspired by living in, staying in Carlow. When I decided to move to Ireland at one point when Brexit happened and Boris Johnson became the Prime Minister in England. I thought, that's enough. I'm moving to Ireland. And I have an Irish grandmother, and I thought, this is it. I can get an Irish passport. Unfortunately, she was born in Rotherham, in England. And then she came back to Ireland, but so I couldn't get an Irish passport. So my new life was aborted, finally, unfortunately.
Now, you've written a couple of brilliant books based on stuff that you've done in your life. What I loved about this book is about stuff that didn't get made.
I wanted to do.
You wanted to do. What is the American No? What does that mean?
Well, first of all, it's a book of stories from pitches that I made over the years to try and make movies starring myself. And the American No is a phrase coined by a very good friend of mine, a producer. And what it is about is when you are someone like an actor going to pitch a movie in Hollywood, you go to the studio, to Paramount or Fox or Warner's, and you meet a group of 6 or 7 people. And the meetings normally go very, very well because otherwise they're a bit embarrassing. And you pitch the story and you play the characters and you do the laughs and everything like that. And everyone goes, ha, 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 ha.
Oh my God, I love it.
I love it, I love it, I love it. This is great, Rupert. And they walk you out and they say, you know, you're the perfect fix for us. We love you here. And then you never hear another word. And that is called the American No.
Okay, so it's a little bit different to an Irish No. An Irish
No, the Irish goodbye
is more direct.
The Irish goodbye is when you leave a party without saying goodbye, which I approve of. I think that's a very good idea.
That is a good idea. An Irish No generally ends with the word off.
Right.
Slightly more direct. So how much of these stories were fiction? How much were truth? There was one story I was very taken with about the actor in the 1980s who was in Hollywood, around the time that you would have been in Hollywood in the 1980s, who was paid to impregnate an heiress.
Yes, I've always wondered why Hollywood stars on the skids don't sell their sperm. It seems such a rational and wonderful idea because, I mean, you know, imagine you could probably get millions of dollars for a couple. So my story is about a young actor, my character. So all these stories are vehicles for myself, or were thought out to be vehicles for myself. And my character, in the end, can't make it as an actor, becomes an agent and makes friends with this kind of actor on the skids, a movie star on the skids. And he manages to sell his sperm to a Turkish supermarket owner's wife. And the supermarket owner is impotent, and she desperately needs to have a child in case the supermarket... it's a very complicated story. The supermarket owner has another family with children, and she needs to get a child before the supermarket owner kicks it. And so she gets impregnated by my star, and then we get discovered, and all hell breaks loose.
Yes. Nothing to do with anything that happened in your life?
Nothing that's happened in my life, no. It's an imagined story. But I think it's a good idea.
You've had a lot of yeses, you've had a lot of nos. That's kind of how acting works. Do you take it all with a pinch of salt these days? I mean, you got an American No for Gladiator 2 recently.
That wasn't an American no, in a sense. But no, you have to have a very, very thick skin to be in show business. I think on your side as well, you know, there's a lot of rejection. You have to find a way of digesting it and not letting it make you too angry.
What's the difference between a Ridley Scott no and an American no?
Well, Ridley Scott is Ridley Scott, so for me, he's a god. And normally speaking, an actor doesn't approach a director one-on-one about a role. That's normally you do it through an agent. So, you know, show business is rather like doing business as a geisha. It's full of rules and regulations as to how you're meant to behave. And so he was casting his film. He said to me, listen, give me 2 or 3 weeks and maybe I'll get some news for you. And he didn't, but he was going on casting. But I didn't really take it that badly. I mean, I did, not being in the movie.
Yes.
But not him not remembering to call me back.
You got an American yes for Emily in Paris. How was that?
I did, hopefully. Emily in Paris, I really wanted to be in because, you know, it's full of frothy Europeans who speak 5 languages, and I speak a couple, and I thought,
there you are.
This could be me. And I got a role, and hopefully I'm going to be in next season, so I'm really excited about that.
You've had a couple of huge yeses over the years. Julia Roberts last year said that she would have loved to do a remake of My Best Friend's Wedding. Would that be something that would interest you?
Definitely, yeah. I mean, it never came about. We were thinking there was talk of a remake, not a remake, a second film, but they're difficult to pull off those kind of things, really. And it got longer and longer before anyone agreed on a story, and then it just never happened. But then we met, all of us, on the 20th anniversary. There's the photograph.
Cute.
And it really was very cute, actually. It was sweet.
Would we like to see the sequel of that, folks? Yeah? I'm imagining you probably don't want to see a sequel to My Next Best Thing, which I believe, did you describe as a car crash while you were making it? Was that right?
No, I wouldn't mind. I'd love to see a sequel.
Yeah?
I'd see a sequel of anything at this stage. No, I'd love to see a sequel of The Next Best Thing. Are you crazy?
That was a crazy time in your life, though, wasn't it? You were alongside Madonna in that movie, and
yeah, it was a great point in my life. I'd kind of thrown double sixes with My Best Friend's Wedding, and for a moment, I was kind of in control of the narrative. And what I realised, being in control of the narrative, is it's not easy. And I was at one point on that movie, The Next Best Thing, the producer, the writer, the star, and little by little I got fired from everything until one day the real producer said, listen, if you want to go on acting in the movie, you can, but otherwise, you know, piss off. And I said, oh, OK, I will, I'll go on. And that was it. So I learned the hard way that actually to be a real mover and shaker in our business is very, very difficult. You really have to know what battles to fight and what battles to give up on, and I've never known that.
But one of the things, you say that, but one of the things which I think makes you a brilliant writer is that you're completely honest. Would you say that you were too honest for Hollywood? Because, you know, there was a time where it was unfashionable to say you were gay, and there was roles that passed you by at that time.
I don't know whether my honesty has been complicated. I mean, being gay for me, I just didn't really... I wasn't in the position to lie about it because I loved going out, I loved going to clubs and living, you know, the life. And at that point, if you're going to lie about it, you're a little bit crazy because someone's going to... if I was one of those queens who sat at home saying the rosary or something, maybe I would have tried to stay in the closet. But I wasn't.
You don't strike me as that type of rosary bead queen.
No, I could be now, but not then.
We got to say congratulations. This is Rupert's first Christmas as a married man.
It is. Thank you.
How will you be celebrating the festives?
Well, we're with family. I'm with my mum and my husband and friends, and then we're going to Brazil, where my husband's from, and we're doing it all again. That's marriage for you.
There you go. And are you bringing the rosary beads?
I'm bringing the rosary beads, yeah.
Look, Rupert, thank you so much. This is a brilliant, brilliant book. It is out now, The American No. You're going to stay with us?
I'm going to stay with you.
Amazing. Give it up one more time for Rupert Everett.
Thank you very much indeed. Thank you.